Welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. The purpose of this screencast is to tell you a little bit about the course and review the expectations outlined in the syllabus. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jennifer Doctor, and I'm an assistant professor in the physics department, but I also work closely with the School of Education to prepare future educators in science. I'm originally from a small town in North Dakota called Jamestown, but I also lived in Minnesota and in Illinois before I came to Wisconsin about 4.5 years ago. My husband is Dr. Ben Anderson, and he teaches in the math department, so maybe you've seen him around campus. We'll also have a teaching assistant and a laboratory coordinator who will be helping out with the class. So that's a little bit about me. During the first week, you'll complete a survey so you can tell me a little bit more about you and what you hope to get out of this class. Now a little bit more about the class. Physics 106 is an introductory physics class, so the main objective of the class is for you to learn physical science content and how to engage in scientific practices like planning and carrying out investigations. What makes this class distinctly different from other science classes is that it's been specially designed for future teachers of elementary and middle school. So many of the activities and demonstrations we'll do can be adapted for use with young children. And in fact, the electricity and electric circuits curriculum that we use is the same one they do in 4th grade over at Emerson Elementary School. So if you take a look at the syllabus, the top part will include my contact information. And my office hours will be on Monday and Tuesday afternoons this semester, with some additional office hours prior to quizzes and exams. These will take place in my office, which is room 2030 of Cowley Hall. And I also do office hours by appointment, so if these times don't work for your schedule, just send me an email and we'll find another time to meet. I've also included a link to my Google Calendar on the syllabus and on the D2L site for the course, so you can check my availability that way. If you are new to UWL, the university uses a course management system called Desire to Learn, or D2L, and all of our course materials, including like PowerPoint slides and handouts, will be posted there in a section called Content. So you can access D2L from the main UWL website in the Quick Links menu shown here. So if you click on this Quick Links, you'll see a drop-down menu, and then you can click on D2L. It'll prompt you to log in with your NetID and password, and then you'll just click on the link which says PHY106 Physical Science for Educators. So as I mentioned in that Content tab along the top of D2L, you'll see some different folders there. I've set it up so that there's some things about the course information like the syllabus and links that you might need. There will be a folder for PowerPoint slides posted in PowerPoint and also PDF form, so you can access those. They're usually posted a day in advance of the class. And then some project information like a house wiring project and children's museum project that we'll be doing, and then a quizzes and exams folder where you'll find the answer keys to some of our practice quizzes. So in the quizzes tab up here, you'll be accessing that to complete homework on D2L quizzes and also submit some essays for like the Children's Museum project. On D2L, also be using the news item to give you some updated information and also keep your grades up to date in that grades section. So on the first day of class, you'll get a spiral-bound booklet, which is really our workbook for the class activities and our notes. There's going to be some supplementary textbooks available to rent in the bookstore. However, I will not be giving any assignments out of those. You can use them as an additional resource if you want to. You'll also need a simple calculator for the class, one which can do basic arithmetic and exponents. Cell phone calculators are not permitted during quizzes and exams. So the format of the class is what we call an integrated lab lecture. So we'll be combining some hands-on activities with direct instruction sprinkled in as needed. The main topics we're going to investigate include matter, motion, electric circuits, magnets, and waves, which includes sound and light. So in addition to learning about these science topics, we're also going to consider some common difficulties that young children have when learning science and explore the new science standards which came out in 2013 called the Next Generation Science Standards. So here's a few pictures of some of the in-class projects that we do, like building roller coasters out of foam pipe insulation. You can just, see all these excited people about learning, excited to learn about physics, and maybe you even recognize some of them. So in the sound and music unit, we have an idol band competition where you're going to create a musical performance using homemade instruments and choreography. So these are some pictures from the past. So in the fall, it tends to be around Christmas time, so you can see some of the costumes here. Alright, so you can refer to page 2 of the syllabus for some specific learning objectives in the course. I do take attendance in this class because as future teachers, I think it's important for you to illustrate the dispositions of the teaching profession, which includes valuing the learning experience. So not just that, but your group members are going to rely on you to be at class. So if you know you're going to have to miss, please send me an email in advance. I do allow you to use electronic devices during class activities such as cell phones, laptops, and tablets. However, I do ask you to please be respectful. So if someone is talking, either me or one of your peers, please refrain from texting or using your phone. We usually take a 10-minute break halfway through the class, so you can also conduct your e-business at that time. So here is some information about the point distribution for the course assignments. So notice that about half of your grade is going to be based on exams up here, and another quarter is based on the quizzes in the class. So there's going to be 3 exams which each are 50 multiple choice questions, and there are 5 quizzes which are a combination of short answer and multiple choice. So practice quizzes and exams are provided in your workbook. The weekly journals will be submitted online using a link to a Google form which is in the syllabus and on D2L, and the homework will be these online D2L quizzes. So the purpose of the journals is really twofold: to help you reflect on what you've learned that week in class, and also let me know what things are still confusing so that we can address them in future class periods. The homework will send you to some websites to look at national standards and student misconceptions pertaining to each unit that we're doing in class. I use a points grading scale where the total number of points in the class is 630. So in the electric circuits unit, we'll be doing a big group project called the house wiring project, where you're going to design and build a model house which is wired by batteries, light bulbs, and motors, controlled by switches. The project includes not just building the house, but also giving a PowerPoint presentation to the class and writing a report. We're scheduled to have a little bit of in-class work time on the end of March, and then the presentations will be at the beginning of April. So you can see we've got had some pretty good themes in the past years. So these are some of the winning houses from past semesters. Tend to have a lot of movie themes. So we also have a really great partnership with the Children's Museum for a service learning project during some of their STEM Saturdays events. So you and a partner will select a demonstration or activity from class and display it for children at the museum. A sign-up sheet will be available probably in the second or third week of the semester. So this semester our dates for the museum are March 5th and April 2nd, with show times at either from 10 to 11 or 12:30 to 1:30. So please plan your work schedule accordingly so that you're available on one of those days. So here are some popular choices for demonstrations at the museum. There's a hovercraft the kids can ride on. There's an air bazooka gun which will shoot a ping pong ball through some empty soda cans. There's a lot that we do with matter and sinking and floating, and also you can see in this last picture building an aluminum foil boat to hold the most pennies. Some electricity and electric circuits. We've got the Van de Graaff generator, which will make your hair stand up. Also this fun fly stick wand, which can make a piece of tin foil hover above it. Some things with electric circuits too. Magnets, we have all kinds of little demonstrations and hands-on things that the kids can do. And also in sound and music, there are a lot of different homemade musical instruments and ways to produce sound. Also using a slinky to make waves and building string telephones. So the last part of the syllabus includes the UWL policies, so just remember to abide by the rules for academic conduct that are set out by the university. And in addition to that, just let me know if you have any special needs or if you have any allergies, especially an allergy to latex balloons, because we are planning to use some balloons in this class. So all of the dates, the units are laid out in the calendar along with homework, quiz, and exam dates. So I'll be using these labels when I post slides to D2L. So for example, the first day of class is Matter Day 1. So when you go into the content for PowerPoint slides, it'll be called Matter Day 1. So you'll kind of have to note that things pick up a bit once we get into late March and early April. And we'll be having Children's Museum things going on along with a house wiring project and then quizzes and exams on electricity and magnetism. Alright, and then after that it's only a few weeks before we have to do the final exam, which is not going to be cumulative. It's only going to be on the last units of waves and sound and light and color and light interactions with matter. So this semester our exam time is on May 10th, which is a Tuesday, from 4:45 to 6:45 p.m. So again, welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. I'm excited to meet you and get to know more about you. Check the D2L News section for additional announcements, and remember to respond to an introductory course survey by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 26th. So one of the items on the survey will ask you what questions you have about the syllabus and course expectations, so we can clear those up right away. And again, remember to notify me if you have any allergies, especially latex allergies, since we sometimes use balloons in this class. I look forward to seeing you soon.